I'm Veronica Stroup Holz. I was born in Wilmington, Delaware in 1954, the sixth of 7 children. So my swimming career started at Lane Swim Club in Wilmington, Delaware, and most of my brothers and sisters were also swimmers. I had a lifeguard there that taught me how to do a proper breaststroke kick, because when I started, I did a scissors kick. I can remember taking lessons when I was about 6, paid absolutely no attention. All of a sudden everybody was swimming across the pool without me. I'd go try to catch up to them. They'd be coming back, and then I would come back. And that was the beginning of my swim career. So I learned swimming skills at Lane Swim Club in Wilmington. My friend Janie Detweiler was swimming for the Wilmington Aquatic Club, so I joined her when I was 8 years old and got my start in competitive swimming with Bob Matson as my coach when I was 8, 9. And then when I was 10, we moved up closer to Philadelphia. So I joined Suburban Swim Club, which was like the big swim team in the area. And I actually made the A team. I was very, very excited. And then when I was 12, I tried over and over and over again that summer to qualify for nationals. And it was in Philadelphia that summer. Some of my teammates qualified and I didn't. I tried really hard. All of a sudden, when I was 13, I just got really strong. And in my first nationals of that year, indoor nationals, I made the consolation finals. And then in the summer, I made the finals in the outdoor nationals. I graduated from high school in 1972. I had been an Olympic trial finalist when I was 13 and again when I was 17. So by the time I graduated from high school, I was pretty burnt out. There were not very many women's programs at the time. Title IX had not come into effect yet. It was about to be, which allowed for more women's sports to have funding. So had I graduated high school 4 years later, I likely would have been recruited from several colleges, because in that time many women's swim teams, as well as other athletic teams, were really developed, and there were scholarships to hand out. So I decided to go to Georgia because I had been at Houston Nationals 2 summers before. We drove from Houston to Atlanta. I really enjoyed the South. Georgia was a great value school. I think it still is. It's rated about the same as Penn State, which would have been my in-state school. So we got a team going, and Marty Washington was my coach. And Marty had never coached swimming. She was a PE instructor, and she knew swimming, but she hadn't coached it. So I was able actually to teach her a lot, and we came along together in trying to get this team built. So we started the foundation, Marty Washington, myself, and several other swimmers. And Jack Barrowley took it and ran with it, and look what he's done. It's so cool. I loved hearing that Georgia's, especially the women, were winning NC2As, Olympic swimmers, national champions. Awesome. Well, one thing about swimming is you know you can weather almost anything if you can be a swimmer day after day after day after day for years. And you're doing it in hopes of something. But you're also doing it for the camaraderie of the team. I was surrounded by people whose least goal was to make nationals, and many whose goal, and quite realistic, was to make the Olympic team and to bring home medals. So the summer of '68, Mexico City Olympics, Carl Roby swam with us. Carl Roby had won the silver in Tokyo in '64 for 200-meter butterfly. So he was about 21 and I was 13. Phil Long also swam that summer. He was about 19, went to Yale, and was a top breaststroker in the country. And they both made the '68 Olympic team. And it was just so inspiring to be with them and the way that they encouraged me. Okay, so my job, first off, when I got diagnosed, I was so relieved, because now I knew why I felt so bad, right? I felt crappy, and now I knew. So we're driving to get a second opinion, and it occurs to me that I want to have a hat contest. because I wasn't freaking out about this, so I didn't want anybody else freaking out about it. So I set up a hat contest for my friends and family. Said it can be any kind of hat. It can be elegant, it can be functional, it can be silly. So I am now the proud owner of about 20-some hats, everything from very elegant summer styles to little caps for when my head was itching because I didn't have much hair, to a cheesesteak hat because, you know, I'm from Philly, we eat cheesesteaks, and one of my favorites is a very pink jellyfish hat. It's about this big, has big eyes and pink tendrils coming down. And then I had a turkey hat around Thanksgiving, around the time of the end of my chemo, and I decided to actually wear it into the hospital. So I had a turkey. It was like a baked turkey, not a live turkey, a baked, drumsticks and everything. So I'm walking in, and my husband's parking the car, and I'm waiting at the elevator, and we're in Philly. Nobody says anything, right? It's just kind of a normal thing for somebody to have a turkey hat. So I just looked around and I said, "Guys are jealous of my turkey hat, aren't you?" And then they laughed.